What is up, guys, and welcome to another edition of Market Marauders, beating the market one trade at a time. For you, the Market Marauders investment channel helps you to find the best deals in the market. If that's something you're interested in, make sure you smash that thumbs up. Definitely helps the YouTube algorithm promote the videos. All right, so today I want to talk about two of the major catalysts that I think will help the market to move. Now, one of them has already shown significant improvement. So this week, basically, there was a vaccine that was shown to have 90% efficacy, which is fantastic. So going to the article, we can see that Pfizer and BioNTech basically said they have a vaccine that showed more than 90% efficacy. The CEO said it was a great day for science and humanity, which I do believe as well, because a vaccine is what the whole market, in my opinion, was waiting on. This says it means that protection from the pandemic is achieved 28 days after initial vaccination, which consists of 2 doses. So it's 2 different doses that you'll take, and it will help you to beat the pandemic. So with that being said, the work is not over for the vaccine. Still has to be approved by the FDA, which will hopefully come pretty soon. But then after that, there's then the deployment of the vaccine, figuring out who really needs it, who are the people who need it the most. Obviously, when it comes to it, they're first responders who need it, government workers who need it, like police officers, firefighters, paramedics. Then you have hospital workers who probably need it as well to help combat, because they're basically people who are dealing with people who have it. And then also, thinking about the different countries that will need their own supply because they have similar services that will need it as well. So one of the things that I'm going to be looking at for this company is actually going to be how they're able to combat that, how they're able to increase their distribution, and how many vials they're actually able to give out, and who they're determining are the people who are going to be able to get this. So just because it will potentially get approved by the FDA for emergency use doesn't mean that people will have it readily available. Now, the company itself has actually prepped and gone in and take measures to actually get the vials or the vaccine in large quantities beforehand. So that was good prepping on their part. But I think there's still a couple of unanswered questions that still make this a catalyst, in my opinion, for the market's continuous growth. Now, it was a good day. The SPY was up. The market is still looking green, but I'm looking for more of a movement upward after this catalyst is solved, and that there's a steady plan for how we're going to move forward as a country. So next, the catalyst that I'm looking at is going to be the stimulus. So in this article, it basically explains unemployment benefits and more than 5 programs that are going to evaporate without a stimulus. So these are things that are going to affect people immediately if there is no stimulus passed, which I think a lot of people are not really realizing is going to happen. The stimulus wasn't just $1,200 checks to everybody. There were actually some added benefits that were a part of the stimulus that will no longer happen if this is not passed. So one of the ones that I want to talk about is the Pandemic Unemployment Assistance Program. So another initiative of the CARES Act, the Pandemic Unemployment Assistance Program, known as PUA, provided economic relief to those who would typically qualify for unemployment: self-employed workers, contractors, and gig workers. The PUA was set to end December 31st. If the federal government does not extend it, it will be up to the states to determine whether they will step in on January 1st. So if your state basically doesn't have money to give you for this or to fund this, then you're basically, just SOL at this point in time. So definitely looking to see if that's going to be added. I know when it comes to a Democratic Party, they like to spend, quite a bit more than the Republicans do, but I wonder if this is going to be something that's added in, or is it just going to be unemployment? So unemployment as well. The average unemployment benefit does not always equal the worker's earnings. A typically ranges between $300 and $600. To help fill the gap, the CARES Act added a weekly unemployment benefit bonus of $600. When the bonus expired on July 31st, Trump signed an executive memo paving the way for a $300 weekly bonus for a 6-week period, with the expectation Congress would soon pass another relief package. That hasn't happened. So there's not been another one. The $300 provision or bonus is set to end December 27th. So right after Christmas, there will be no more, unemployment bonus. So basically, if people just spend a lot of their unemployment money on buying Christmas, and buying Thanksgiving items for their family, everyone wants to celebrate Thanksgiving. Everybody wants to celebrate Christmas. If your family was stretched and you all want to celebrate those holidays, you're basically stuck up the creek without a paddle, because this benefit has not been re-upped. So this is another one that I'm looking for in the stimulus to see what amount of money they give on here, because I know the Democrats and Republicans were definitely at odds between the amount of money. It was 600, then it went down to 300, then it went to 200, and it fluctuated quite a bit. Also, I think this number is going to go down. I don't think it's going to be $600 anymore, especially considering that there's a vaccine out there. So I think people are like, saying, well, there's a vaccine, so most likely the industries will start back up. So unemployment, you shouldn't need that much money, since your job can potentially open back up. So I don't know how that's going to work spending wise, but hopefully they come to a decision on that before December 27th. Another one that a lot of people face, a lot of Americans, is protection from evictions, not paying rent. So the CARES Act provided limited protection on evictions by only focusing on homes backed with federal mortgage loans or households that receive some type of federal funding. The protection were then expanded in September by the Center for Disease Control, or CDC, which called for a halt on evictions for failure to pay rent. This order by the agency covered more households, including renters in 43 million households, but it also has an expiration date of December 31st. So at the end of the year, there's basically no more protection for people who cannot pay their rents or have federal mortgages, homes backed with federal mortgage loans, or households that receive some type of federal funding. So that is another one that I'm looking to see if the Democratic Party and Republicans can come to an agreement to see if this can be added to the stimulus as well. The last one that I think affects majority of people, I know it affected me, but I was able to pay off my student loans, so I was definitely blessed for that, to be able to pay off that. And I did pay it off by trading, so I was happy that my hobby or my passion actually helped me to pay off these student loans. I know student loan debt is something that plagues a lot of people, a lot of Americans, a lot of adults still out there have student loans. It's something that a lot of people struggle with, but if you were able, I think some people think that with the student loan deferral that it just helped, us, younger generation, us millennials, but it definitely helps some of the older generation as well, because they don't have to pay that, which means that they, have more money coming into them. So whether, you choose to pay it or, you're just opting not to pay it, you're just like, I'm not going to pay it at all, you still save money regardless with this CARES Act. So students who are paying off federal student loans also received reprieve under the CARES Act, which gave them the option to defer their loans payments, which paused the accrual of interest until the end of September 2020. In August, Trump extended the deferral or deferment until December 31st. On January 1st, services will once again be able to charge interest on these loans, and students may have to resume paying them off unless the services or servicers offer deferment options. Now, in my personal opinion, there have been student loans, forever, and I don't think that student loan, deferral or withhold has ever come up in conversation. So I think of all of the ones that may get left out of the stimulus, I think this one is the one that's going to get left out of the stimulus. Now, I did hear talks about potentially giving, every student or people who are paying off their student loans a $10,000 stipend to pay off their student loans, which to me, the average student loan price is around $33,000. So $10,000 would still leave you $23,000 in debt, accruing interest. So it doesn't really help to give a stipend. Having a pause on it, I think, helps the most. But we'll see how that works and how that's actually, given in the future. I think there's probably going to be a potential of the just lump sum that they're going to give. That'll be like, okay, you can pay off your student loans with this $10,000 amount. It definitely will not be a $30,000 amount for each household or each person. I think it'll be more like a $10 or $5,000 amount that's given, which is not a bad thing. It does help out quite a bit, but the burden of student loans, I know for me personally, my student loans, definitely had to live a different type of life when you have student loans, because they can definitely plague on your mind. Something that you owe, because it's not the only debt that majority of Americans have. Majority of Americans have a car loan. You got rent or mortgage. You may have kids, daycare, stuff like that. So there's a laundry list of stuff that goes on top of student loans. So the student loan pause or the student loan, deferral period definitely helped a lot of Americans. I know it helped me to able to save enough money to just pay mine off. So definitely looking for those 5 things, and I think those are still catalysts in the market. So I think all those things combined, looking for the stimulus as a whole to add those things into the stimulus will definitely help the market and will help Americans in general. So good luck to everybody out there trading this week. I hope everybody's able to lock in some profits. Drop a comment down below. Tell me what stocks you guys are looking at for this week, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.